Hello, I'm Regina Botras, and this is Backstage, where we talk with the who's who on stage, in dance, comedy, and performing arts, speaking with the leading theatre makers of our times and how they came to the stage and what drives them and inspires them. Well, I'm joined by the fabulous Nancye Hayes. She's in Anastasia on at the Lyric Theatre at the moment, and what a spectacular production. Look, Nancye Hayes, you would have seen her somewhere around the traps, on something, in something. Her career started with J.C. Williamson Theatres as a chorus member in My Fair Lady. She went on to major musical productions, including Sweet Charity, Chicago, Sweeney Todd, Guys and Dolls, 42nd Street. Over 60 years in the industry. Look, there are way too many. As she just said, that we would be here all evening and not get a chance to talk about this production and a little bit of her life. You may know that obviously Hayes Theatre is named after her. But this production, she's playing Dowager Empress in Anastasia. Welcome to Stages, Nancye.
Thank you, Regina. Thank you.
Oh, look, it is such a fun, fabulous night at the theatre. This performance is lightly based on the real facts of the time, set in Russia in around 1918 or early last century. What's going on at the time?
Well, it's about to be the Russian Revolution, of course, and the Romanovs are ruling. That's the Tsar and Tsarina. That's my son, Nicholas II. And when the show opens, I'm saying farewell to the little Anastasia, because I'm going off to Paris. And of course, shortly after I leave, well, not shortly, some years after I leave, they are assassinated, the family. But the rumor was that Anastasia survived that. So the storyline is searching. I've given a reward to find her. And it's these two con men are going to find a girl and teach her to be Anastasia and bring her to Paris and fool me. And so that I'll think it's Anastasia. So that's the principal basic story of it.
And you, having spent decades in the theatre, when you're playing a role like this, is it putting on an old coat, or are you still looking for something new? How do you approach a role?
I always try to find something new in my characterization, not based on anything I've done before, but I have done a couple of grandmothers now, so I'm getting used to it. Madame Armfeld in A Little Night Music at the Hayes most recently.
Yes.
But it's a beautiful role, and I have a lovely scene with Anastasia, which is called the recognition scene in the second act, and I look forward to that every night because it's truly moving. It moves me, it moves her, and I think it moves the audience as well. And it is a beautiful production. I mean, when we do the texts and things, I always run out and see what I could have a look at, because I don't see it. I'm backstage once it starts, and I'm always amazed at the way it looks and the way it sounds and the orchestra and the whole thing. I'm thrilled to be part of it. Absolutely thrilled.
Are you still discovering things about yourself as a performer?
Yes, I find I'm just as nervous, if not more nervous, as the years go by, because the more you have a reputation, the more you have to prove that reputation. So I'm always looking to, you never stop learning in this business. You really don't. I mean, there's different skills that suddenly a production might call for. So I say to all the young ones, learn everything you possibly can.
Yeah.
And so you're ready. You're ready when something comes along. You say, yes, I can roller skate. Yes, I can juggle. Yes, I can do a backflip. I can't do any of those.
And I was going to say, when do we get to see you in the backflip?
And I won't be trying at this age, Regina. I won't be trying.
I read some of your history. I mean, you kind of had a calling and kept telling your mother. Did you know that it would come to this, this many years later, or what kept you going?
Well, I had the work. I went from one show to the other for many, many years. And then when, I was getting a little older, I started to diversify, and I was choreographing and directing. And I used to go to places like WAPA or the VCA or NIDA and do short courses with the students there. So I've tried to just cover it and keep going and do classes myself as well to keep everything polished.
And do you think, I mean, it feels like we have a resurgence in musical theatre. I don't know if that's true. Like what have you noticed how things are changing or what they're
Well,
like at the moment?
because a lot of schools now have musicals, they do musicals. I think a lot of younger people are more interested in musicals. I mean, we've always, as Australians, I think we've always loved the musical theatre and always attended it. But there's a lot happening, and that's exciting. I mean, at the moment, we've got our production, we've got the Prom, we've got Gutenberg at the Hayes, we've got the Lion King and Waitress happening in Melbourne and Pretty Woman, and there's so many. It's wonderful. Don't have to
Yeah.
go to Broadway.
It's incredible. I mean, it feels like there is really, yeah, so much musical theatre. This production, I mean, gosh, it's including that film world as well. It's like a musical, it's a drama, it's the film and a ballet as
And a
well
ballet.
in there.
Yes, beautiful.
My
I love
goodness.
watching that every evening. I mean, that's such a range of talent within our ensemble. They can do the Swan Lake and they can do the Russian dance and they can be the Romanovs and then they can be the rabble and they can be everything. They're very busy.
Yes. It's really transported. It feels quite epic, this production, because it does move from Russia to Paris. How, like, do you know much about the film side of things and
Well,
how
I
that came
well,
about?
I think that that's starting to creep into productions now because
Mm,
it just makes the show so much. You couldn't do it with basic scenery, what they're doing. I mean, you're in Paris, you're going up the right Eiffel Tower in the lift. I mean, it's a new technology that I think will be included in a lot more musicals now.
mm. And looking back, like, do you have a favorite role that you've played over the years?
I have too many favourites, I'm afraid. Of course, Sweet Charity will always be a favourite because that was my big break. And I was very young, and it was at the time I was at the right place at the right time when J.C. Williamson was going to stop importing the leading artists and give the roles to Australians. And it started with people like Tony Lamond and Jill Perryman, and then myself. Because Sweet Charity was a dancing role, so there hadn't been a lot of dancing leading ladies over the years that mainly been singing and acting roles. So I was in the right place at the right time with that skill, and it was a lovely success. It was thank goodness I did well with it, and then I went on to do other things. But I loved Chicago. I loved being Roxy Hart in Chicago. I loved being Miss Adelaide in Guys and Dolls, and Nellie Lovett in Sweeney Todd. I mean, I've got a lot of favourites, I must say, Regina. It's very hard to separate them. And my favourite's the one I'm doing now, of course. My very favourite.
And how you mentioned, that you still get nervous. How do you, well, like, what advice would you give to someone to deal with nerves like
Whatever you
that?
do, keep breathing. Yes, just
Mm,
keep
mm,
calm. Know that be well prepared. Be well prepared. Know you're well prepared, and keep breathing and keep the nerves at bay. But it does, it's not easy sometimes, particularly opening nights and nights that are so special.
mm. And you mentioned that there weren't many, leading lady roles with dancing. Are the characters changing? I mean, I guess it's such a hard industry in so many ways, as for any woman or anyone actually. Performance is such a challenging role, acting or dancing and all of those things,
Singing, I
and
mean,
singing. I mean, try triple
well,
threats.
that's right. You have to be a triple threat to be in musical theatre. There's no other way around it. So that's what they're trained for.
Are there more roles for women these days in the theatre, or in your what you've
Well, I think it's pretty
witnessed?
pretty equal, really. There's always a leading man and a leading lady. Sometimes one is the name. Anastasia is a vehicle, star vehicle role, as Sweet Charity was, as Funny Girl is, as Gypsy is their star vehicle roles. But mostly it's a pretty good balance.
Mm. And for this one, has there been like a challenge for you in bringing the Dowagers to the
Well,
stage?
just to find her steeliness in that she has become so disillusioned, and then to find the way to address that.
Coming backstage from from the theatre 5 years.
Just to find that gradual melting of that heart of stone, just to find that and to find the joy that she has once she's found her and the fulfillment she has. And she says to her, "You have made this the happiest day of my life, Anastasia. Make sure it will be yours as well, Anya." So she gives her permission to go with Dimitri, if that's what she wants. And that's a lovely handing over. I have the first word in the show and the last.
I love that it's not, I mean, it's quite fairy tale like, but it isn't like she forges her own way. There's an independence.
Oh,
in
yes. She's steely. She really has kept going and pursued this, trying to find her for all those years. And it's many years later that it finally comes to be. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it is a spectacular production. Is there a role that you are dying to
Not
play
at the
still?
moment. I think I've had my very good share of very, very fine roles, so I'm not going to be selfish. But if something comes along, I'll put my hand up.
Well, Nancye, look, I better let you get into the prepare from backstage to the stage. Thank you so much for joining me. It's such a treat to have you on.
Thank you, Regina. It's a pleasure to talk to you, and I'm glad you enjoyed it so much. Tell that you really had a good night.
The wonderful Nancye Hayes there. She's got to get onto that stage, warm up for a show this evening.